Hello student, good morning. I hope you all will be safe and sound. As we have discussed in the geography, now we are going to start the history, and here the sixth chapter that they have given here about the weavers, iron smelters and factory owners. You will come to know in this one chapter about the different kind of the weaving activities, about the activities which is done with the help of the iron, as well as the factory owners who were the owners of the factories during ancient time. These all the things have been given over here. Okay, so what they have given at first, they have shown here one peak. So you can see downside they have written that is trading ships on the ports of Surat in the 17th century, mainly uh, during the 17th century. Whatever the ports activities were done, as you all know that at that time only with the help of the sewage the trade was done. So you can see this peak and it is showing that how the trade was done. It is mainly in the Surat, in the Gujarat, in the west coast of India. Okay, and after this one, what they have given, let's have a discussion over the chapter. This chapter tells the story of the craft and industry of India during British rule by focusing on two industries, namely textile and iron and steel. So here, mainly in this one chapter, we will come to know about the craft and industry. We saw the craft and we saw the industries. These were just established and these came into the existence during mainly the colonial rule. And mainly here, we will focus on two industries, namely textile, which is related to the cloth, and the iron and steel industry. Both these industries were crucial for the industrial evolution in the modern world. As we all know that both the industries, it plays an important role that is in the industrial evolution in the modern world. For the industrial evolution, so these two industries, these are textiles and as well as the iron and steel, it play an important role in the modern world, in today's world. Mechanized production of cotton textile made Britain the foremost industrial nation in the 19th century. Here they have given mechanized productions with the help of the technology, with the help of the well-equipped machines. Whatever the production of the cotton textile that was done and that was produced by the Britishers during the 19th century, it became most of the famous during that time, and it became very crucial and very important for the Britain. Then after this one, and when its iron and steel industry started growing from 1850s, Britain came to be known as workshop of the world. So here they have given, and when its iron and steel industry mainly, it started growing. It started to produce the things with the help of the iron ore. So what happened during the 1850s? So Britain came to be known as the workshop of the world because just because of these two industries, it got the title of the workshop of the world. Then the industrialization of Britain had a close connection with the conquest and colonization of India. So as we all know that the industrialization, as this was the era, this was the scenario of industrialization. So what happened at that time? It has a close connection with the conquest and colonization of India. So it was quite closely with the winning of and just controlling over the different territories by the Britishers. It has a close connection with them, as well as they also colonized the subcontinent. Okay, then you have seen chapter 2. In chapter 2, we have discussed already how the English East India Company's interest in trade led to occupation of territory and how the pattern of trade changed over the decades. Here they have given, so how it is related, that we have discussed already in chapter 2. So how it is related with the company which were quite interested in doing the trade, and thus it led to the occupation of territory and how the pattern of trade changed over the decades. As you all know that when they came to here, so at first they came only for trade, and how it led in the changing in the trading pattern over the different decades by the Britishers. And In the late 18th century, of the company was buying goods in India and exporting them to England and Europe, making profit through the sale. And as we all know that in the last years of the 18th century, so what happened? The company was buying goods. The company, it was just purchasing the things from our country, and it is just exporting these all the produced goods to the European countries and making profit through this sale. And they were getting a huge kind of profit by exporting, by selling these all the things in the European market. Then, with the growth of industrial production, British industrialists began to see India as a vast market for their industrial products. So, as we all know that, as the growth of the industrial production, whatever the production was done by them, so the Britishers, whatever the industrialists were there in the Britain at that time, they began to see our country as a vast market, a very good market for their industrial products, and over the time, manufactured goods from Britain began flooding India. And by over the time, what happened? Whatever the manufacturing goods, whatever the final goods production was done by them from Britain, they began flooding India. They began to import and they began to sell in our country as well. How did this affect Indian craft and industries? If the European goods, they came into the Indian market, so how it affected the craft and industries in our country? This is the question we will explore in this one chapter. And in this one, we will come to know about these all the things, how these things just change in our country. Okay, then after this one, they have given here about the Indian textile and the world market. Okay, so here you will come to know about the whatever the textile that was produced at that time in the country, as well as the world market, and what is its means value in the world market at the international level. Let us first look at textile production. What they have given, let us look the textile production. Around 1750, before the British conquered Bengal, India was by far the world's largest producer of cotton textile. Around 1750, they have given, before just controlling over the Bengal, so India was by far the world's largest producer of cotton textile. Means the India was largest producer of the cotton textile. Indian textile had long been renowned both for their fine quality of and executive craftsmanship. So whatever the fine quality of, it was praised and it was admired by everyone, both for their fine quality of silk and cotton, as well as that is this one craftsmanship, and whatever the craft over the particular cloth was being made by the different craft persons, it was really admired by everyone. They were extensively traded in Southeast Asia, mainly in Java, Sumatra and Pangong, and West and Central Asia. So these all the things, whatever the things were produced at that time in the country, so these all the things were just very, extensively, these all the things were traded, exported in different parts, like they have given in Southeast Asia, mainly the islands, that is Java, Sumatra and Penang, and as well as in the West and Central Asia. From the 16th century, European trading companies began buying Indian textile for sale in Europe. So after this one, what happened from the 16th century? So whatever the European trading company, they came here, okay, in India, and they began to buy the Indian textile for the sale in Europe. So they started to purchase the Indian textiles, and they, after purchasing from here, they used to export these all the things, and they used to sell these all the Indian textile in the European market. Then memories of this flourishing trade and the craftsmanship of Indian weavers is preserved in many words still current in English and other languages. And whatever the flourishing trade in our country, mainly about the craftsmanship, whatever the craft was being made at the time mainly in the textile. So what used to happen? The Indian weavers, these all were preserved and secure in many words, in many languages, whether that is in English and other languages. These all the memories were captured by writing the history of Indian weavers. It is interesting to trace the origin of such words and see what they tell us. And it is very interesting to trace the origin of such words. Means very tough to just find out the main word, the origin of these such words, and see what they tell us about these all the things. So here you can see the left side, they have shown the pic how these things were made at the time by the different craft persons. Then after this one, words tell us histories. Okay, whatever the words, these were written over there, they used to tell about the histories of cotton textile. What they have given here, see, European traders first encountered fine cotton clothes from India carried by Arab merchants in Mosul, mainly the present day, that is in Iraq. It means to say, what they have given here, whoever the traders from the western part, mainly from the European continent, they just came in our country. So they just encountered, they just reached fine cotton clothes from India carried by Arab merchants. These persons, these merchants, they belong from the Arab. They carried these all the fine cotton clothes in Mosul, present in Iraq. In Mosul, the place name that is in present day in Iraq. So they begin referring to all finely woven textile as Muslim. So whoever the that is fine quality of the this one clothes, these were just, they have given the name to the fine woven textiles as Muslim, a word that acquired wide currency, a word that acquired, that used to get a wide currency, mean to say a lot of profit from this. When the Portuguese first came to India in search of spice, they landed in Calicut on the Kerala coast in southwest India. So what happened? As you all know that first, that is Portuguese, they came to our country, so in search of the spices. So at first they reached near to the one port, this one near to the coast area, that is Calicut, that is in the Kerala. And what happened after this one? The cotton textile which they took back to Europe along with the spices came to be called calico, derived from Calicut. So they used to just go back to the European country along with these spices to sell in the European market. So it came to be known as calico, and this word derived from the Calicut. And subsequently, calico became the general name for all cotton textile. And later on, what happened when they started to do the trade in the textile with the European market, these European traders, so they had given whatever the clothes were made by the cotton textile, they have given the name to this all the clothes, all the cotton textile, they have given the name calico. Then there are many other words which point to the popularity of Indian textile in Western market. So as there are many other words which are also pointed, which are also noticed, that which got the popularity of Indian textile in Western market. In figure 3, they have given, you can see a page of an order book that the English East India Company sent to its representatives in Calcutta in 1730. So you can see this is the page figure, this one 3. So here the left side, those lots of the things have been written here by the Europeans. So these all the persons were sent, the European traders, these were sent to India. Okay, order book means we sort of the order, they just asked about the East India Company to send its representatives in Calcutta in 1730. The order that you that year was for, that is 5,89,000 pieces of clothes. The order, whatever the order they have shown here, so it is the order of, you can imagine that is at that time that is 5,89,000 pieces of the clothes. Browsing through the order book, you would have seen a list of 98 varieties of cotton and silk clothes. So if you check downside this figure, so you can notice down that there are 98 variety of the different cotton and silk clothes. These were just demanded by the European traders in the for the European market. These were known by their common name in the European trade as price goods, usually woven clothes price that were 20 yards long and 1 yard wide. So here that has been given. So these were known by the common names. These all the clothes, cotton clothes and silk clothes, these were known there as by the common names, and in the common name in the European trade as a piece goods. As a piece goods, these were known usually woven clothes pieces that were 20 yard long. This is yard mean to say that is measuring the distance. So this was used 20 yard and 1 yard wide. So you can see here what the things, what the order has been passed by them to just demanding these all the things for them in the European market. Okay, the rest of the things we will discuss in the next video.